Let's talk about Docker architecture. Docker architecture are very pretty straight and forward, and there is no complexity involved to understand the Docker architecture. All right. So if you look at, we have Docker client. Docker client can be maybe your engineer number 1, engineer number 2, engineer number 3. So people are sitting and we call as a Docker client. So Docker client are the person who make the call to do something with the Docker. So what are the call they can give? Like they call as a pull image. They can call as a create container. They can make the call delete container. They can make the call move container. They can make the call attach network, attach storage, remove storage, XYZ. So these all action can be given from the Docker client. So Docker client use the API to make the call with the Docker daemon. So Docker daemon always running on the system where this each and every container gets created. So in our case, if you look at the big box, on that there will be the Docker daemon. If you give the number of commands from Docker client, create container, it keeps spawning number of container top of that hardware. All right. So Docker daemon always running on that box. It can be whether virtual machine or it can be a physical hardware or bare metal, anything. And this Docker container are lightweight operating systems which have required library, required binaries to run our application. So it supports all type of application, whether it's a Python, whether it's a Java based, whether it's written in any Perl language, XYZ. So you can deploy your application on top of that container. Not only application, but also it support, like for example, you want to deploy the database, easily you can deploy. And the great thing about Docker, we are going to look in upcoming our sessions, how Docker are predefined in the Docker registry. So number of things which is already created for you. You can just go ahead and download and use it. No need to configure. So that we are going to discuss later part.